Hello, and welcome back to DCI. We are here at New Hampshire for the fifth race of the season. A quick rundown of qualifying should send us on our merry way. There's going to be 80 laps here today, and back to 40 cars. This one's going to take a while, so sit back and get ready to enjoy the show. Green flag is out. The Stat 1 racer takes the green. So overall, we see it's going to be a battle to hold the low ground at the corners, as grip throughout the corners might be fleeting. Racer did go high there, but got to run. Yeah, once you clear the field, you can do that. But if you go high, like Wally Wannabe's doing, that's not a good look. As you're just going to get eaten up there, and that's just not gonna be a good look at all. The 33 is trying to enter deep so he could maybe turn down in front of the 45. It's all about securing the low side. Born Ready and KSS battle for position. This is fourth, it looks like. Racer's running an elevated line. It's kind of working. KSS even holds off decently strong here. So far, at least. 16 of Ben McDonald running inside the top 10. As everyone's kind of looking to get around the 51. Even Team Duke kind of looks like he made a 3 wide pass back in 1 and 2. Some drivers are not sticking to the bottom program, and that's kind of hurting them. Hyperdrive making the pass on Landon in the 10. That's to be expected. And up front, it looks like the 17 starting to try to pull himself away. But Mizzou kind of wants to reel him back in. Born Ready, with the help of Ben, down the back, ready to make his attack into 3. And it actually worked, but it kind of left Ben behind. He's got to pick up the pieces and pass KSS himself, as you do. You know who's on the rise? Team Duke is on the rise early. He is passing cars. He's with no hesitation, he's moving up. RS Fast and 11 trying to get his bearings straight to get back into a top 10. The Cooker off his impressive initial NDS win, running mid-teens. And Toad Warrior is inside top 20, but trying to overcome poor qualifying efforts. Tide hasn't really had the strongest runs in DCI so far. He's actually kind of falling behind the mark compared to where you'd expect him to be. Probably focusing more on that main series playoff push, though. Who else need to? Near the back of the pack, most of these guys back here aren't really that significant to talk about. Tiger Man did not get a good qualifying position, following Obi-Wan Kenobi through the field of filler and fantasy drivers. As you see, the 11 of CS Fastlane 11 back there as well, having a bad time. Yeah, it's really tough on these high skilled tracks like New Hampshire. And then once you get really back here, you get to the end of the pack as Fred Jones rounds out and last in that 22. Back up front, Ben makes his way up to 4th, and you can see the hunt is really starting to begin here. Those cars lining up, trying to close the gap or at least keep it consistent. Still a little early on board here. This is what the 16 sees. Is he looking? He makes that pass on the 9 of Canadian Lux. He makes it look easy too. He's like he put it in there like AJ Allmendinger would. I think he's just trying to leapfrog these guys one at a time. Because Mizzou being the next car to pass, well, you gotta slip in front of the 9 first to get that run on the high side. But the 19 is at the back bumper there for. Oh, he's gonna try a 2-for-1. Look at this. Man, they're side by side for fourth too. Problem is, you can't get the run without the high side. So you're gonna have to rely on your braking prowess and the amount of grip you have down low to make it work. I'd say 16 used it all up trying that 2-for-1, but I'm not sure if it'll work out for him in the long run. He made it look interesting though. Goddamn. He's gonna almost try to psych out the 19 by forcing him into a mistake and then taking the high side when he does make the mistake. Born Ready slipping in to third as well. Like, I don't know. This has kind of been like the season of Born. And by extension, he's bringing his dominance into DCI, much to the chagrin of many of viewers. But it is what it is. Yeah, Team Duke's kind of stifled his run at 8th. I thought he'd be making up more positions than that, but guess not. RS Fast and 11 at the edge of the top 10. Good Warrior back to 18th, though. Those cars in the back, just because of how long the lap time is, I wouldn't expect lap traffic to happen, but it could. Also, it feels like the lap times are already getting slower. Might be the low speed through the corners. Most lap times are like several tenths off their fastest lap, so like when it comes to tires, they're feeling the burn already. KSS in that mix, try to get another position. Nobody's running the fast of their laps. Like, oh, it's really starting to show. Speaking of fastest lap, I know I don't usually do this, but the fastest lap so far goes to that one racer. Who would have thought? They're really starting to like take the 9 and shuffle him back. Canadian Lux was as high as 3rd at one point. He's back down to 8th place, and if the 51 is any indication, probably going to lose another spot here real soon. Misty Viper bouncing back, running 10th right now after his no-show at Lime Rock Park. Yeah, once the green flag pit stops begin, it'll probably be a tell on who's really going to be out front then. Like, kind of clumping up here. Like, you got Tide, Logan, and Eastlamp all just one after the other after the other. And kind of following each other intently here. Not really needing to make a pass, but because there's still a lot of race left, but you gotta do something. Toad Warrior finally making something happen. Down into turn 3. Zent's gonna get sent back a little bit there. Even Ladion, 23rd, he's on the high side and on the way back is Ace and Tiger Man are really looking forward to making up positions here. There's your lead margin here is not sure, you're not gonna look 3 wide. Gladion clears Ace, so Tiger Man could look low there. For that at least. For that battle. Now on Racer. Ben McDonald really looks like he almost closed it there, but now Mizzou. Now these two are in the same division, while Ben has been fairly consistent in being in the top 3 of his division. Mizzou has been very underperforming and needs to turn his season around at all costs. So Mizzou needs to perform at his best to make it in at this point. These guys been like for top 10 spots are actually kind of going pretty hard with each other. Landon, BS Fest, and 11 outside the top 10, but they could fight their way back in if they keep getting side by side like that in front of them. Born Ready dropped back to 7th, and KSS managed to hold 8th. They might go for it in turn 3. No? Okay, that's fine. I wonder when Mizzou's going to try to strike for the lead. Racer's kind of been out front, but, I mean, nobody's ever been able to look around him. I mean, you could make a joke that one Racer's wide as hell, as we see Darkest Presence make an unscheduled pit stop. I think the 44 just coming off pit road might be what these leaders need, but the 44 might have fresher stuff than the leaders, so he might start running with it. We'll see what this all amounts to. It definitely hurts the 44 in points if he gets caught off cycle, which might happen. These guys, leaders, probably have at least a few more laps in them before their pit stops, as this is a 2-stop race. Under green, anyways. Cautions could probably mess up the whole thing. But it's been a green affair so far. We kind of need a much serious, clean race. This race before we go to our next track, which is highly anticipated for some. For others, it might be a mess. But it is what it is. Racer looking low. I think this is his pit lap. And I know I said a 2-stop race. It might be on the border here. Some drivers might try to go really stretch it. I think this might be 3 stops, as you see those coming in this time. I think pitting the first lap is optimal. Now, I'm not sure what Presence did, but it definitely has a little bit of a pep in his step, so to catch caution at the right time might be good to get Presence back on schedule. As the other is coming in 26, so maybe it is a maybe this might be a 3-stop race after all. I mean, Landon already came in. Ben with the massive steal on pit road when it comes to track position over Racer. That has to be concerning to the 17 team that the 16 tactically spanked them on pit road. And even then, these other guys coming off right now, Mizzou's the highest up. Ace is a lap car, and you don't want to be put a lap down here. So Ben's just able to run away with it so far, it looks like. I couldn't tell you what happened on pit road. I think Presence is still last. Nah, Ace is still last. Presence is. I think Ace is technically last place as he's about to go a lap down. So Fred Jones and Spock should be near the back. CS has had a bad day. Presence probably will start falling in track position here. All right, full rundown of our running order. Yeah, Ben got away pretty hard there. Who else was any winners or losers on pit road? And 34 made up some ground. I think the 7 fell off. Did anyone like fall off super hard? The 26 kind of dipped a bit. And not sure where the 11 was pre-pit road, but he definitely sucking now. 40 cars on track. F4 Ace will be the first car to go one lap down, it looks like. Yeah, it kind of sucks for Ace as he really had a good season 3 in NDS, but it hasn't been Ace's year, and he might be on the way out. Honestly. Racer second, this group. Team Duke is doing good this race so far. The thing about Duke is that he might need a caution to try to catch up, though. As he does have a fast car, but if it's getting beat out by Racer or Ben, he's going to need all the help he could get. Hyperdrive 8th, RS 9th, BS running out the top 10. KSS BSS in 11th is doing fine. Toad in the cooker, Misty 14th. Logan in 15th, just doing what he needs to do right now. The problem is his division's so cutthroat that the people that he needs to be beating are, they're all ahead of him. Well, the 21's behind him, but actually, where the fuck is the 21 car? Jesus Christ. 21's only behind by a few positions, and that's not enough to help the 42's position, so you gotta need to do better than that. Tiger Man 19th, taking care of business. Tide and Eastlamp came out close to each other, so that's that. Kyle D, 23rd. He's got Cannoli behind and Iris ahead. So that'll keep him company at least. Ladion rounding out top 25. Yeah, I think he was one of the ones who missed Lime Rock Park as well. Zentz and King are next up. Turn 11, 28th place. Just hasn't been his day because we don't have Snowball on the schedule, so he ain't good. Sorry. Jerry and the Puff rounding out 30th. Yeah, tough competition will probably eventually catch up to all of the backmarkers who have been overachieving. I expect the Puff and Volley to fall off in the back half of the regular season. Benny Scholl running 31st, and we got a big group here. Jesus Christ. Volley sticks in it 3 wide. Like, no fear. No fear on the 38 car. He's just trying to put it where he thinks they'll go. But the problem is he's not fast. None of these cars in this pack, except CS Fast and 11, have any sort of speed. I mean, I guess Frosty Wolf is moderately fast, but nah, I wouldn't bet on that. Nah. Still a big pack, though, so if caution comes out, then it might be those guys. Fred Jones and Spock are racing for the honor of 38th, and then it's back to Ben, who is amassed almost a 4.5 second lead over the runner-up car so far. I mean, I know it's only been 4 races completed, but we could have our first repeat winner in the series. This short-lived Spinoff might have its first repeat winner. Maybe. Who knows? And Mizzou got put in. You gotta do harder, try harder than that. As aside from Mizzou's climb through the field, I think that division that Mizzou is in might be the easiest. Maybe. Because there are some strong performers out here looking to rise the ranks, and you never know what the standings are going to look like until the races are run. But everybody goes in the same point system. So it's all about having your best race. Team Duke up to third. Very strong performance from 31. I expect him to be a pretty significant threat for taking his division. He's looking for second place too. He's gonna get it here. Doesn't want to be too aggressive with Racer, but you got to make something happen, man. He's definitely on the low side going into one, so you got to be aggressive with it or lose position. But Racer has mastered the run on the high side. Okay, maybe not because he actually lost ground that time. And it looks like the 31 has the advantage going in, but the braking late is definitely something that these drivers are doing. Trying to master, get every last inch out of their car when it comes to performance. Take a look at that 44. Yeah, 44 is kind of fallen a bit weaker here as Ben has put down Spock and Fred Jones a lap down. So once this plays out, the cycle will continue. And the second pit stops will probably be a lot more dangerous. The car is going a lap down. Presence is has bald tires more so than the rest of these guys. So I think the 44's race might be over here when he decides to come down pit road because it's looking bad. All over the back bumper, like without a prayer. The 16's an animal right now, just relentlessly chasing it. Like, second place, Canadian Lux hasn't even caught F4 Ace yet, so it's a runaway train for the lead right now, and that is not specifically ideal. Or not the best thing that could happen. I think Bassell and Laundry Sauce are next up on the list. We'll see what happens to them, as Sauce and Bassell already up high. 16's made quick work of them. Toad Warrior's slow ascent through the field has not gone unrecognized, as he's already up to 9th. I think it was barely inside the top 20 early on. Now he's moving up. I keep my eye on Landon, too. He's 7th now, but he also early pitted. Even earlier than usual, so we'll see what he does when this run calms down. RS Fast 11 really intent on putting the 15 at disadvantageous position through the corner. Yeah, they go side by side as well. And despite the same font on their cars, they're nothing alike each other. There's nothing too like when it comes to one another. It's like a rivalry. Grr. It's more of a one-sided rivalry. 51 is like the big mad, and the 15 just kind of does his own thing. Tied on pit road early, so we might be seeing early pitters come sooner rather than later. Darkest Presence, he was one of the early pitters, so he's coming back out, and this could signal the beginning of green flag pit stops as a whole. Ben stayed out that lap. Yeah, keeping my eyes on the entrance here, seeing what's going to happen. Who comes in early, who doesn't. Jerry with one more position. Especially these guys in the back, their lap cars. Even Volley got lapped. Goddamn. Just flashing through everybody. Trying to figure out when they're all going to come down. I think 50 is the time. They're a goddamn mess whenever they do, anyways. Jesus Christ. Where's Ben? Yep, Ben comes in. The 9. They're trying to split it this time. Split the pit road. Entrance plan. The early pitters. Not sure what the situation's going to call for. Because Team Duke is staying out a couple extra laps. I mean, there's incentive for strategy when this race goes green all the way. You see Team Duke running where he is. You see a 16 where he is. 31 might be trying something completely different to what we're seeing here. And so if you're the 31, you might want to see an entire green flag race. If you're a 16, then once the cycle finishes, then you might want to see a caution. And if you're the audience, then you're probably yelling at me because of how fucking boring this race is. But the driver's doing their best here. Tide came out a lap down to where Ben is right now. That's a bit concerning. Because it feels like he's going to put a lot of guys a lap down. You see the Puff, Frosty, Benny Scholl coming out, and then you just see Ben looking to try to run them all down. The 7 of Tide being lapped down does not help his case at all. Some drivers have done better than others, while some have faltered down the stretch. You see the 31. As a caution's out now. Oh boy. We didn't quite finish up the scoring of the cars, but what we do know is this changes everything. Who was it? Who the fuck was it? I know those guys were accelerating off the corner. Oh, it was the 3 of KSS BSS. Oh no. Buddy, what are you doing? KSS turns down the track, but I mean, it was a mutual thing. Hyper kind of slid up the corner as KSS shot down the track and just incidental contact. 53 laps into the race is what brings out the first yellow. I mean, it came down to that. Damn. Alright. Let's find out where Ben's pitting again. Alright, that... I'm not sure who's going to come out on top here. Alright. So, 31 cars on the lead lap. Well, I call it the true lead lap. Technically, Darkest Presence and Tide. Mizzou's the leader. Everyone in front of Mizzou has to fight for their right to stay on the lead lap. This includes Ace, Laundry Sauce, Spock, Fred Jones, Volley, Presence, Vassell, Tide, Turn 11. Iris, who is currently the 31st place car, is on the lead lap, and I call it true lead lap because they're not like, they don't have the leader breathing down their neck. So Iris has some wiggle room to stay on the lead lap, but being in 31st place, you can only be so happy, I guess. All right, 39 all cars on track, 31 true lead lap cars, and the ones in front will have to scramble to try to stay in front of Mizzou, Duke, or whoever. Green flag back in the air. Ben restarting 13th as we see some drivers restarting at relatively high position for their strength. King and Ladion. The CS Fast and 11 saved his races up to 12th on that restart. Let's go back up front. These lap cars are going to cause some headache for these drivers. And this could lead to disaster. I mean, it's quite possible that this could be bad. I do not know what situation all the drivers want, but what I do know is that some could win the race relatively easily. The 51 and 19 are 1-2 right now. Looking to close the curtain on a lot of these drivers' races by putting them a lap down. This, yeah. I feel like all the drivers here who are being shown to get lapped, I mean, they were already in the back anyways, save for the 7 of Tide, who had that weird pit timing thing. I don't know. It's not bad how it's playing out. The issue is you got some guys like Team Duke who are been performing really well up to this point, are getting held up by lap cars and just falling back. And of course there was the 16 who dominated the race, but yet is in mid-pack because of a pit stop that he made under caution. I mean, that is a criticism, but what are you going to do? Kind of be boring if the race was a foregone conclusion with one guy running away with the W. It wouldn't be much of a show now, would it? Oh! Oh, Laundry Sauce, an ace! There were some cars spinning out back there. That's going to cause a caution. What this does, RS Fast and 11 being picked up as the leader. I believe because RS was picked up as the leader, Volley, Presence, Turn 11, and Tide escape to the lead lap. This was for... Oh, what happened here? Definitely think Laundry Sauce didn't expect Krugermeyer to be where she was. Landon also sliding into the fray, running directly into the back of Laundry Sauce at that moment. Everyone got by. Once again, Landon, no matter how good he runs, something happens to his race causing him to just mess up near the end there. It honestly kind of sucks for him, but that's just the Landon formula at that point. RS Fast 11 leads under caution, and these caution laps help ensure that these cars don't need to make another pit stop. And because we are not within the 10 laps to go, lap cars line up low side this time. Landon out of the race. Unfortunate. Here's your standings. Ladion was a surprising top 10 appearance, same as King. Other cars netting good finishes, some getting mediocre finishes, and some kind of getting screwed over from where they once were, but still plenty of time left to go. And that's how it's shaping up to be. 34 lead lap and winding down to the back quarter to this race. All right, back to green. These cars aren't damaged. They're just lapped. So they may have more speed than what you think. So they won't just get out of the way. It's easy for the leader to just clear them, but once you get to like second, especially third place on back, it's a challenge to even clear lap traffic. So this looks like it might be the Mizzou versus RS show. And if you're RS Fast and 11, you saw Lime Rock Park, you're probably thinking to yourself, please don't choke this one away again. I mean, it'd be a back-to-back winner, but if there's anybody who wants to have good results more than any other driver, I'm feeling it's Mizzou. He's got that dog in him. Let's see, Misty Viper up to third. Nice rebound from the Lime Rock Park race. Spock is Duke get into it. That's a little ironic. Eastlamp running up inside the top 5. Or 6. Anyways, still commendable. Love it. Still 3 wide once they get near midfield here. It's really starting to pick up. Traffic time, mid-pack. And I would not want to be here. Because one mistake from somebody near the front of this group here, and that could cause someone to crash out. Or a lot more than just somebody. So hold your line, you'll be fine. Benny Scholl 22nd. Tiger Man kind of just trying to have the benefit of a cakewalk division, but even then, not his best run. 24th so far. And look who's side by side with each other. As Presence passes the Puff. That's definitely a moment in DCI history. Back out front, it's just 1-2 right now. 51-19. Who's going to drop first? Who's going to give? Who's going to give? Who's going to give? You can see how competitive midfield is back there, but when you 1-2 like this, it's a game of inches up front. Misty Viper solidly third right now. If a problem were to strike both of the top 2, then the 45 would be the car to win it. But so far, it looks like RS Mizzou are just casually battling each other so far. I don't think this will have the same finish as the Season 2 race at New Hampshire, but it's looking like it's shaping up to be a mildly interesting finish. As one car slowly tries to trip another into making a mistake. Mizzou all over the back of the 51. He looks. He's taking a look. He sticks it in. The 51's going to have to recuperate behind the 19 and figure out a plan of attack for himself now. Now the script is flipped. 19 on defense, 51 on offense. We'll have to see the lap times as they get to the line, because, yeah, like, I'm not sure if that 19 is faster than the 50. Oh, yeah. That was 4/10 right there. And this next lap might be the one to determine whether or not that gap is shrinking or growing. But, oh, by the eye, you could tell it's growing. This 51 car is. Whew! Another one through the clutches. Victory snatched right away as Mizzou pulls away. I think that's another 4/10 right there at least. That's only about 2/10, a quarter of a second, but still, a quarter of a second at New Hampshire is damn a lot. Battle for third place could be kicking up and alive right now. Seeing the late passes made through the field as the positions of the cars now. KSS out of the race. I think he was still in, but not anymore. Yeah, the gap's over a second now and obviously growing, so it looks over right now. Let's go midfield one last time. Just to fucking mix a lap cars in with these lead guys. Oh, pit! What the fuck? Hey! A small swarm of cars have pitted. What the fuck? Where's our leader? 19, 19, 19. I think we got him. I think he's good. Mizzou takes the white. RS to the white. Battle for third to the white. Team Duke must have been one of the ones who pitted too. What the fuck? What is the finishing order gonna be? Okay. The 19 of Mizzou through turns 3 and 4 will win the race. But what the fuck? We'll have to take a look at that final results sheet and see what in the Sam hell happened there. Check flag, 19 car. Wannabe did not take third place. What in the hell? Jerry's running 29th, and he's like, what? Ace has rear damage. I mean, that doesn't surprise me, but some drivers who were en route to a good finish have flushed that right down the fucking toilet in favor of pitting at the most inexplicably inopportune time. That, I mean, they all knew it was 3X. I'm not sure what could have caused it. I mean, let's take a look at, like, 31 of Team Duke was among one of them. He was running like inside top 10. He and King were among those who came down. Eastlemp and Jerry were both running top 10 until they came down. Ace was a lap car, so but he doesn't fucking count. But Bissell was also a lap car. Krugmeyer was, I'm not sure. Just So this was one of the New Hampshire races of all time. And I'm sure that the results here aren't exactly depict how fast the car was, but it was definitely a race. God, this recording is over 45 minutes, probably because of that stupid finish. That's the rest of the field finishing up there. 28 on the lead lap. The Puff was the final lead lap car, so he can go blow up. Not an explosion like how a pufferfish blows up. Whatever. I'll see you next time. That was dumb.